Welcome to the Loveland All Sports Podcast, where the land of love can get updates on not only Loveland sports, but learn and discuss many sports topics. Shoot any ideas you want to lovelandallsports@gmail.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook at the Loveland All Sports Pod. Loveland All Sports Pod is sponsored by Meredith DeWitt of Brittany Fritch Realty, Loveland's #1 boutique brokerage. Contact Meredith for any and all of your real estate needs at meredithbfteam@gmail.com. Happy New Year, everyone. I apologize. It's been a fun and busy winter. Following my Hoosiers, the holidays, work, life, all that. So I'm sorry that the next episode is finally coming out with Shayne Lyons, Assistant Athletic Director of Loveland High School, to get a fall sports wrap-up for each team, learn about the upcoming winter sports, and kick off the season. Enjoy this episode. All right, well, happy holidays and happy New Year. Loveland, I apologize. I've taken a long break from the podcast and getting back into it after a great holiday season. And as many of you know, I've been touring the country watching the Indiana Hoosiers go on an epic run and had to wait until school back in session. But we're hanging out here with Assistant Athletic Director Shayne Lyons to do our fall sports wrap-up. So welcome, Shayne.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
How's your holidays? I know it's a while ago, but
it's pretty good. You know, I'm a Buckeye fan, so not as good as your Hoosiers, and I'm a Colts fan, so a little tough back half of the sports season for me. But overall, holidays good. You know, time to kind of relax and kind of get away for a little bit.
Did you get back home to Columbus?
Yeah, I went up to Columbus for about a week and a half, so that was pretty nice.
Awesome. Well, we're going to dig right into this. We wanted to get back to recognizing all of our fall sports student athletes, and also at the end we'll talk a little bit about the springs or the winter sports and where we're at after that. So why don't we dig right into it and talk about girls golf?
Yeah, so girls golf, I wouldn't really call it was like a little bit of a rebuilding year, but more of I just kind of want to give a shout out to the seniors that picked it up for the first time. So that was a lot of fun, so we could have a complete team, and those girls really enjoyed it. So not a great year for them, like score-wise, record-wise, but I know those girls had a lot of fun, and first year with Coach Smith. And then Coach Orsanelli came back to help a little bit as well.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
So they had a good time. You know, it's a lot of fun to go out there on the golf course. No better way to spend a work day than watching them play golf. And they had an honorable mention of Maria Yeager there. So, but hopefully we get more people on the golf team. So come out. I know they have a great time. And tell your kid, I mean, sometimes they miss school for a few golf matches. So that's a good incentive to play.
And also, it's the one sport that you'll be playing until you're 80.
You can play it forever.
Right.
Play it forever.
Right.
Life lessons with it.
Awesome. Let's move over to girls soccer.
Girls soccer, coming off the Final Four the year before and losing 6 seniors. The program finished at 6-9-3, so not really where they expected, but they did play good soccer down the stretch with a tough schedule. I believe they played the D4 state champs, some other state runner-ups, so definitely they challenged themselves year in and year out. Led by first teamers Maddie Reynolds and Lorelei Sundberg, and then also some second teamers Raken Krisafi, Leah Murray, Naomi Nunn, and honorable mention Juju Lee. That is a team that is going to lose another 5 seniors, but they have a really good freshman class coming up from the JV level, and some really good juniors and sophomores coming back as well.
Awesome. Well, I know Coach Smeal will have them going, and those darn ties in soccer, they always get you. So let's stay on the pitch, and let's go to boys soccer.
Boys soccer had a really good year. They finished at 11-4-3 and tied for 3rd in the ECC. They were led by quite a few seniors, especially on the back line with Jason Bachman, Blake Hatfield, and Aiden Smith were all first teamers. And then the second teamers, they had Ryan Cady, Finn Parrish, Brady Smith, and honorable mention Jonah Smith. This group, there was a little question mark of what they were going to bring in this year and kind of bring to the table in the ECC. We know we could be competitive, just putting the ball in the back of the net. And then when we started off, I believe 8-0.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun to watch them play and play together. And then they kind of just ran into a hot Harrison team in the first round. You know, with going to Division II, there's only 6 options who you're going to play.
Yeah.
And even at 11-4-3, we only got the 3 seed.
Yeah.
So Harrison had to come here. We lost a heartbreaker in double overtime, and Harrison ended up going all the way to the regional semifinal. So a tough way to end a great regular season, but that group had a great year, so nothing to hang their heads about.
Yeah, it was interesting because I'm friends with so many of those kids and their parents, and you know, just the way the schedule was built, that they had such a fast start.
Yeah.
And then started to get into some tougher
Yeah,
competition.
and they did pretty well in those competitions. Like I said, it's just like when you get into the tournament time, and now us dropping to Division II, it's just, well, out of there's only 6 teams for us to play, and even us being one of those 6, so you kind of, it's really hard just to get the matchup that you would obviously enjoy as an 11-4 team. But we just didn't get it.
Well, Coach will have them rocking and rolling for next year, I'm sure. All right, let's move over to girls tennis.
Girls tennis, I know the overall record isn't like what people would say great at 9-9, but a tough non-conference schedule. Going 7-2 in the ECC, and that it's good enough for third place is a really good season. So they finished with some second-team members of Madeline Lair and Maddie Rediman with doubles, and then honorable mention of Maddie Murphy and Gina Bullock for doubles as well. But again, and then I believe they all did pretty well at the way ECC tennis works is that's where they placed in the tournament, which they did over at, I believe it was at Mason this year. But so overall, it was a good season, and then that was without Marley Fleming this year, who was probably the number 1 singles this year, who decided to play on I think it's like a club circuit to kind of improve her ranking for college. So a 7-2 in the ECC with your quote unquote without your number 1, and that's good enough for third in the ECC. So that's a very good year by them, led by Jenny Kapsakavich once again.
I know Coach Kapsakavich will learn some things from her bowling coaching that she'll
Yes,
apply
she
to
will.
tennis. So she's everywhere. That's great. All right, football.
So football under new coach Bob Mullins. It was a little bit of a tough start. You know, we started 0-3, but to Harrison, who won 2 playoff games in Division II, and then a heartbreaker loss at Lebanon in week 2 that ended up, they were, I want to say 7-3, and then another 7-point loss to an 8-2 Kings team. Both of those teams won 2 playoff games with close losses, but got it off on the right foot back at home against Milford, beating Milford for the first time since 2016. The season as a whole, looking at that group, I thought it was a decent year. You know, it was a good year for them going 4-6 in our tough conference, especially after a slow start. And beating Milford and kind of beating some teams. Quite a few first-teamers and seniors that we're going to miss. Calvin Lorick was first team. Chase Martin, Landon Shipbeckler, and Brady Stidham. They're all seniors, so now they're all gone. Second team, Eric Earl and Tyler McCaleb. Jewel Verbrooker and Danny Waters. And then honorable mention of Clayton Northey. So, and I do think a big strength of our team coming back as now we run the triple option is our O-line and kind of returning some of those O-linemen that got a lot of experience this year. But we're going to be actually semi-big up front, which if you've been at a lot of our football games in the past is you wouldn't really consider us big up front. Compared to most of these other ECC and Division I schools. So I think that's going to be something to look forward to as the future. But overall, a solid year 1, a solid base built, and hopefully looking forward that we're going to make some improvements and win some playoff games.
Yeah, I've told so many people we had to be the best 4-6 team in the city. I mean, to lose, you know, and thinking back to where the program was 10, 12 years ago, you think about what first-year coach Bob Mullins and Coach Haynes and what they've built, and they've got to keep their heads high because 4-6 with that kind of schedule, we were only out of the Harrison game in the fourth quarter and the Anderson game. Every other game we were in. So,
and I will say, it's kind of hard to see on football staffs, kind of really anywhere across the country. I believe we have every single coach coming back.
Yeah.
So that's exciting news because usually coaches all over the place are jumping around.
Yeah, especially nowadays. There's so many high school coaches open right now. Well, that's a testament to what you and Jason are building here, so thank you. All right, let's move over to boys golf.
Boys golf, they went 12-4 overall, second in the ECC, which is pretty good. The ECC in golf is pretty good.
Yeah.
They ended up losing to Anderson, I believe, and Anderson had the golfer of the year who's going on to play Division I golf. So golf kind of works, like I said earlier, just kind of the same way. It's where you place, where you get first team, second team, and they have a preview. Then they play all their matches and plus the regular at the postseason match as well. But we did have co-coach of the year, Mr. Chris Burke, and his first year, who's also worked with Coach Smith down in the social studies wing. We had first teamers Nathan Ryan and Ethan Walzer. Second team, Casey Kopecki and Elijah Rand, and honorable mention Ryan Litchfield. So 5 golfers in there. I mean, that's just how competitive we were with Anderson and how close we were. So that was a good group to be with and kind of follow them through districts.
Yeah.
So like that's just a fun time, you know.
Yeah. They had a great run and just ran out of some steam.
And great kids. Like they like when me and Jason would go out there, they would interact with me and Mr. Bruce on the golf course a little bit. Like obviously not in like districts or like the serious ones, but like just like the little duels. Like, oh, how are you? So great kids. So it was a lot of fun.
Those 5 seniors that you talked about, and even Casey, that have all had ECC accolades. I mean, I've gotten to know them over the years and their parents.
And that's been a program that I think is like, you know, you've called a quote unquote like a little bit of a powerhouse in the ECC. They've reloaded. Like it seems every year we're losing 5 seniors, and then it's like, oh wow, we're back.
Right. Well, let's keep it going, Coach Burke. Staying on the course, I'm sorry. Can't read my own handwriting. Let's move to girls cross country.
All right, girls cross country. They were led by a great group of seniors, and a lot of these girls were 4-year runners for us. Delaney Silly was district champion. Caroline Mernan was a district placer as well, and so was Parker Mincer. So Delaney and Caroline were first team all conference, and second team was Parker with honorable mention of Isabella Franck. Yep. They were district runners up and a team qualifier at state. So just getting the full team back to state was, I know, the big goal this year. Yeah. Especially coming out of Cincinnati, which is a tough region to get out of. They had a great year, and obviously it's a great group of girls that we're obviously going to miss. Like a lot of them, like I said, kind of being 4-year runners for us, kind of watching them grow. Now this is my 4th year here, so they were freshmen my first year. Yeah. So watching them grow, and Delaney's going to, I believe, Coastal Carolina, and Caroline's going to Butler. So like they're going to continue their running career. But just a great group to watch, and just them qualifying for state was a big thing for them.
Absolutely. And then staying with the cross country boys.
Boys cross country. The first time since 1971 they were district champs. So they were led by first teamer Ian Tromley and Ronan Wolfer, second team Evan Colgate, and honorable mention Brennan Cost. So again, that's a team. They were team district champs, like I said, first time since 1971, and also state qualifiers. So setting both boys and girls cross country, kind of like, you know, everything. Ever since I got here, everyone's like, oh, everyone here runs, and like just setting your boys and girls cross country as teams, not individuals, is a big step for like the program as a whole. So shout out to the coaches for that. But they were a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I noticed that the some of the top times that our Tigers had at the Troy Twilight event. What's with that course? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that course.
That's a fast course, and we did well. If you look at the rankings at that course, it's pretty cool. Yep. Okay.
They run miles way faster than I ever could dream of.
Right. I'm with you. Well, let's end on a high note. Let's talk about girls volleyball.
Girls volleyball, first time in school history to a Final Four. And we opted into Division I from Division II this year under first-year head coach Tina Collins. We had the Conference Offensive Player of the Year in McKenna Curlin, who was a 4-year letter winner. We were led by a great group of seniors. So McKenna was first team all-conference. Josie Nichols, first team all-conference. So was Marissa Whalen. Those were 3 of our seniors. Second team, Kylie George, who's a junior who will be back. And honorable mention of Gavin Ciotti, who was a junior and be back. You know, watching that group was a lot of fun because, you know, I didn't know much about volleyball. You don't know much about volleyball, but
bump set spike.
Yeah, that's all I thought it was. But just watching them play, and like Coach Collins did a great job of like explaining volleyball to me. So did McKenna and Josie. McKenna was actually our intern in here, so like just checking that. Some big notches this year for McKenna and Josie was Josie became our all-time career kill leader. Right. And then McKenna became our all-time career assist leader, which ended up passing her own sister, who had the record. So that was a good group to watch. I mean, just all the way through districts, and then winning the first regional title in school history, beating St. Ursula. Yeah. And like that was a 3-2 reverse sweep, so we were down 2-0 and won the last 3 sets.
That's right.
And then in the Final Four, you know, just kind of ran into a powerhouse in Seton. You know, they're a top 20 team in the country, and you know, and they handled us. But you know, that's nothing to hang our heads about of opting in Division I and going to a Final Four, which was a great environment for that team. Yeah. So, and that team was also conference champs, tied with Kings, but just overall like a great group of girls that, again, they had 3 4-year varsity winners along with Hannah Drock, who was the other senior. Just a group that, you know, I came in with that I got to see, and like this senior class was very special, especially with our fall sports, just seeing them, how they've grown in those 4 years.
So it's pretty awesome when I hear, you know, Coach Collins, Coach Burke, Coach Swite, or Coach Mullins, all these guys and gals that have been on the podcast. And you guys are really building something special here.
Yeah.
And you hear that when I interview the coaches, and then 3-4 months later, we summarize what they did. And it's pretty cool what we're building. Any thoughts on, any knowledge on where we are in the ECC All Sports?
We are currently at 64.5 points, which is 1 point behind Anderson, who is at 65.5.
Okay.
And we have a half a point lead on Kings. So we're sitting in a good spot. You know, you wanna be around top 3 coming out of it within a point or two. So we're hoping for a strong winner. We're off to a decent start.
Yeah.
We have ECC cheer actually tomorrow, so like that'll be like I think the first scoring one that we get. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I think we're in a good spot to hopefully make another run at what we did 2 years ago and win an All Sports Trophy.
All Sports Trophy, yeah. So usually this time we talk about forward thinking about the upcoming season, but we're halfway through now. So anything you want to share on boys or girls basketball?
Boys and girls basketball, they both just won 8 of their last 9. They're on hot starts coming out of the break. The girls basketball team, they are 12 games in and already have more conference wins than the year before and regular season wins on the year before. Boys basketball sitting at 10-4 going to play Anderson tonight. So good starts there. On the girls side, I will say the ECC is loaded.
Is it?
We played West Claremont last night, and West Claremont's got a good shot to maybe compete for a Division I state title, and Wood's a Division II state title. So the conference on the girls' side is definitely loaded. Yeah. So those games are always close, and we're playing well with them.
And then I noticed the other night, just because I'm a dork and I scour the internet, wrestling's doing well. We've got some
wrestling.
Guys at
we
the
got
top
some
of every weight class.
Yeah, and that group's led by Eric Earl, Randy Madison, Danny Waters.
Yeah.
That it's an experienced older group. And then on the girls' side, Elizabeth Madison, she's finally back, so she's hoping for her 3rd state title in 4 years.
Yeah, that'll be great. Any other winter sports to talk about?
Swimming is back. The Schroeder sisters are doing really well. We expect hopefully to see them back at state. Boys and girls bowling. Again, a lot of those seniors that golf for girls golf they joined the bowling team with Miss Kapsakavich, and they're having a great time with it. So like again, same thing with that one. You know, just trying to get some numbers up. Tell people, hey, it's a great time. Like you don't always have to we're not. Yes, everyone loves to win, but like going to do things and having fun, building team camaraderie is a lot of fun with that.
Another sport you can do till you're 80.
All the time.
So
Boys
Coach Kapsakavich is getting all these kids to get lifelong skills.
Yeah. And her husband, Matt Kapsakavich, is coaching our boys team, and they're off to a good start as well. That's another program that I think we lose 4 every year, and then we're back in the top 3 of the ECC. So it's just another good group, and off to a strong start in the winter.
Awesome. Well, thanks for all you do. Sorry, community, for taking so long to get the podcast out, but we're back on the roll, and let's finish the winter strong and go Tigers. This episode is sponsored by Cappy's Wine and Spirits in downtown Loveland. Tap room, bottle shop, meeting place, great music, gift ideas, and a traditional watering hole. Hope you enjoyed this podcast, and good luck to Loveland this winter, and congrats to all of our fall teams.